Hey everyone, welcome back to Open. So this year marks the third anniversary of the passing of rising basketball star Brandon Hendricks. Hendricks was fatally struck by a stray bullet just shortly after his high school graduation. And well, he is remembered and honored by his loved ones as well as the community as they unite to fight against gun violence. Which brings us to our next guest, the Oyate Group, a nonprofit organization aiming to alleviate poverty, launched in the eponymous Brandon Hendricks Scholarship in 2020 to ensure that multiple Bronx students have financial access to the college of their choice. And of course, that's going to assist them in achieving their dreams that would otherwise be put on hold due to economic hardship. So this year, the scholarships was awarded to two exceptional high school students from the Bronx, and with us today, we have the program coordinator of Oyate Group, Alexander Reyes, and accompanying him, we have the Brandon Hendricks Scholarship recipients, Jennifer Agbanyo and Bryant Boakye Frimpong. Hello and welcome, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, Rhina.
Good morning. Good morning. And let me start by acknowledging Oyate for this initiative and for making a difference within the community and acknowledging our community. This Brandon Hendricks Scholarship started 3 years ago, and the fact that you are going to keep his legacy alive by pushing, or rather passing it forward and assisting the next generation in their development is really admirable. So let's just share with our audience first all of the different sectors that Oyate Group actually contributes to the community, because it isn't solely the scholarship and it isn't solely the students, it's for small businesses as well. So let's just share that with everyone. Alexander.
Yeah, thank you, Rhina. So my name is Alexander Reyes, and I'm one of the Oyate representatives. So Oyate Group is a nonprofit organization that focuses on alleviating poverty across New York City. And just this summer, we have the second year of one of our undocumented internship programs that are similar to the SYP. And with the idea is to support, the immigrant community students, right, that do not have the opportunity to have internships and programs that can teach them for their knowledge, for they can continue their education. That's one of the programs that we also conduct here at Oyate. Additionally, we also have turkey giveaways during Thanksgiving season. We have provided during the pandemic vaccinated communities in the Bronx, but with that, the city couldn't reach. With that, we vaccinated over 40,000 residents of the Bronx. As well as now, we just launched again the program, right, for undocumented immigrants for the entire year. We also partner with other schools like hostels for scholarships as well, and now with the Brandon Hendricks scholarship. But I want to make sure that the Oyate organization partners with other organizations to provide those resources and opportunities to the communities in New York City.
So before we meet these wonderful honorees, congratulations to you both. I just want to be clear, right? So Oyate is expanding, is what they're doing, right? Because I know you originally started with partnering up with Fordham University and offering what it was like media classes with an internship, a paid internship, and now you've actually expanded into Lehman College now, where you're also offering this media technology development with a paid internship. So just really quickly before we go into the scholarship funds, just explain like what that dynamic looks like.
Yeah, so the program started last year, just went Fordham University. Now this summer we spent it to Lehman College, right? And so what we're doing is that we're taking these students and putting in these universities, right, with our partners to make sure that they're learning different skills from, science, from humanities, from media, from art and acting. And we have a lot of talent out there that is really seeking for those opportunities for than to learn. And now, like you mentioned, our partners, we are trying to open more doors in other universities and other organizations so we can have more opportunities and more programs for the students to develop those skills.
I love that. I love that so much. It leaves us hopeful, right? Because you're actually offering this to those who are undocumented, who normally wouldn't have this opportunity because they're undocumented, right?
Right. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. So, we don't ask for any type of documentation or social security. We just want to know who they are, what they're interested in, what they want to do in the future, and to also make sure that they know that there's opportunities up there. There's hope, right? So that there is, even though regardless of the documentation status, there is hope, right, that they can achieve that potential. There's a lot of potential out there that is not being, used. It's not being exploded. So we want to make sure that we want to explode that knowledge. We want to explode that talent, right, so they can contribute it later on in the future as well to other
Right.
generations.
Especially, with the migrant influx that we have going on, right? So really, before we start with the Brandon Hendricks Scholarship, is there anywhere that people should go to, and is there an age range that they need to be in order to meet a criteria to be part of this internship?
Yeah, so right now we're working with 10th graders and 11th graders. And so our application is out, right? We launched it like 2 weeks ago. You can find it on our website, oyategroup.org, and our social media, Oyate Group, and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. You can find it, and you will see at the top, the industry opportunity. Is a very simple application. We don't ask for a lot of questions. Again, we just want to know who they are and what they're interested in, and what they want to do in the future as well.
Wonderful. And now we're going to meet this year's honorees. I understand that you actually scaled it back to just 2 winners, right? 2 grantees, and you also increased the amount of scholarship funds, right? So I'm assuming each of them got 20,000.
Correct. Yeah. So initially, when we first launched the scholarship program, we were granting $5,000 to 5 students, right, before going into the full year. But Oyate realized that it would be better to support students throughout the 4 years of college. Meaning, now we're doing 20,000 per student, and this year we picked 2. And then at the beginning of the fall semester, we are going to provide those $5,000 throughout the 4 years of college. So we can be there as a mentors, as assisting or support to make sure that they are successful at the end of their career in college.
Wonderful. So now we're going to learn how Jennifer Agbanyo qualified for this and how you learned about it. Congratulations. I know you're representing Preston High School, or did represent Preston High School. Congratulations.
Thank you. I learned about the scholarship through my community. Actually, I saw a poster somewhere and I said, oh wow, this seems like an amazing opportunity. Why don't I apply? So I saw that it was the Brandon Hendricks Scholarship. I Googled the Oyate Group and I tried to find out more information, and I saw that their application was open at the time, and then I applied.
Well, what was the criteria that needed to be met in order for you to even qualify?
So the criteria that I met personally were you had to be a high school senior that was about to go to college, a 4-year or 2-year institution. You had to have a qualifying GPA, a GPA that showed that you're trying your best in high school and you're taking advantage of every opportunity that is provided to you. And since I met all those requirements, I felt like it was my chance to apply.
Well, congratulations, because
Thank
it
you.
was a good thing that you applied, right? And so we're going to learn a little bit about Briyant Boakye Frimpong, who represents Lion Charter School. Let's talk about your I guess, involvement and how you learned about this wonderful opportunity.
Hi, thank you for having me. So I learned about the Brandon Hendricks Scholarship through my college counselor. So it was during my college process in which my college counselor, he recommended me to apply for the scholarship because he deemed me to be a good recipient for the Brandon Hendricks Scholarship because of pretty much like everything that I've accomplished throughout my 4 years. And then I looked into it more and then applied.
That's wonderful. And I'm happy that you both are receiving this. I understand, Jennifer, you're going to be attending the State University of New York at Albany. And Briyant, you're going to be attending Brandeis University. Jennifer, you're actually going to become an obstetrician gynecologist, right?
Yes, I'm very excited about that.
We're excited for you. And Briyant, it sounds like you're majoring in computer science and you're going to do a minor in economics.
Yeah, hopefully that's the plan. Yeah.
Well, you've got a support system, and that's where it all begins, because I believe that is very important. So it's like one less piece that you need to concern yourself with. So let's talk about what that process has been leading into being granted this 20,000. From your perspective, I already heard Oyate's, just from your perspective. You can start, Jennifer. Just tell me how you've been guided along the way.
Right. Okay. So I met the founder of Oyate Group, and he offered me many opportunities. He reminded me that Oyate Group has many connections in the Bronx, and if I ever needed internships or access to certain programs, that they can provide that for me. So yes, you're right. It is a support system, and I'm so glad that I was able to have access to that, and I'm ready to take advantage of it, and also to help other Bronx youth.
Nice, nicely done. That's how it works. You obtain, and then you pass it forward, right? Because you share it. So Briyant, what about you?
I feel like through the process, like even though I didn't know Brandon personally, I feel like growing up in the Bronx, there's just like some things that you experience which you can't experience nowhere else. So I feel like I've experienced so much like growing up in the Bronx, and I feel like this scholarship brings awareness to gun violence. And after meeting Oyate, I feel like being a part of a network of like very like-minded people from the Bronx, just like myself, and talented people is like definitely a community I want to surround myself with.
Yeah, and so before we hand the floor to Alexander over there, I want to just ask, what does it mean to you to actually carry for 4 years now the Brandon Hendricks Scholarship representing anti-gun violence?
I feel like being the oldest in my family to attend college and the first to attend college, I feel like this scholarship means a lot to me because it takes the financial strain from my parents when it comes to college. College can be very expensive. And I
Right,
feel like this money allows my family to put, that money towards my younger siblings, which is something I truly appreciate. And I
right.
feel like this scholarship brings great awareness to gun violence because, we see like how many talented lives and young people we're losing just to gun violence alone.
Yeah, and you know what? And you're carrying that for 4 years, so you get to represent it even in your development. And you, Jennifer?
My answer is very similar to Brian, actually. Obviously, the scholarship is very helpful to my family financially, but I am also a first generation college student here, and I'm glad that I'm able to take off that strain off my parents. And carrying the scholarship, personally, for me, is just also, in a way, carrying Brandon, because I feel like this opportunity was taken from him, and he was about right just to go into college. So I feel like I am now representing him, and I will do him proud the best way that I can.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. What a wonderful gesture, Alexander. And I do need to ask you, Alexander, like what is this process? Is it rigorous? I mean, how many applications do you get, and how do you select?
Yeah, so initially we launched the application at the beginning of March. We closed the application in May, so to make sure the students get the letters from colleges and universities, right? And so to give it a gap, right, to go through the process. But as they mentioned, we just asked them, their academic success, their a little bit of a story of Brandon. How they kind of get to about the scholarship, and then we going through an interview process as well.
So, in closing, before we go, and I want to see everybody's faces, so I hope we just stay together as a unit. Um, I want to know what the experience has been for each and every one of you finding each other, right? And I mean, in the sense of like Oyate Group is offering these wonderful opportunities, and it's quite impressive what you've been able to do. And I'm very curious to know how you're even able to offer such funding, but I'm more interested in how it becomes a community, how you've become a network, how you've become the support system, and what it's like. I mean, this is your third round of these scholarships. So there are previous students who have benefited from this opportunity. And so I just, I'm in awe over what I'm hearing from everybody.
Yeah, I think, that the word says it itself, the Oyate word, it means the people. So I think the organization does a good job in bringing, different perspectives, different ideas, different people and different skills. And that's what I love about the organization, because it's the people's organization. And we want to work with anyone that needs an opportunity, anyone who wants to, contribute to the organization. And even myself, I can give you my experience. I always wanted to do this work. I never seen such a program that helping documented student, giving a scholarship to a student who needs it because of a financial barrier. I myself went through college and I had to take loans, and I had to do a lot of interviews, to get a funding from the state. And back then, 4 years ago, I didn't have, an organization will be giving me this money and say, take this money, go to college and help your parents or help yourself. And I think that's what Oyate is all about. With that, I've been having a great time here working with Oyate staff and the students. I love working with youth. That's what I like to do. So that's what I focus exactly in youth programs. And I've just been loving and enjoying it, the impact that we make in communities in the Bronx and throughout New York City.
Well, we're loving it too, and we look forward to having you on again as you continue contributing to the community. And thank you both for making time. I know you're in school, right? So thank you for taking some time to come and be with us and share your
Thank you for having us.
future ahead
Thank
of
you.
us, right? You're our future. So it's our pleasure to showcase you, and the humility in which you're also carrying the name of Brandon Hendricks through this scholarship provided by Oyate, everyone. And once again, that's Alexander Reyes, program coordinator of Oyate Group, and the Brandon Hendricks scholarship recipients. We have Jennifer Agbanyo and Bryant Boakye Frimpong. All right, you guys, for more information, you can also visit oyategroup.org. Stay tuned. There is more open when we return.